what are some of the local policies that impact the journey to net zero buildings? Vic,
So
I'll let you go ahead with that
yeah,
one.
so I think with anything new, and again, I think net zero is still something pretty new, right? We maybe need a little bit of helping hand to push us along, right? And so we're seeing a lot of different things coming right now. So I guess we can look at it kind of sticks and carrots, right? On the policy side, I think two of the big things driving are, one, of course, a consistent, constant increase in efficiency requirements at the component level. So we keep seeing, right, if you look for air conditioners for your home recently, you'll see, SEER ratings going from 13 to 14 to 15 and up. And we see that on all the commercial equipment as well. Chillers and rooftop units and so on. We see the efficiency ratings continue to be pushed higher and higher. And that's, of course, to minimize the electricity usage. And we're also seeing transitions to new refrigerants that are much more, much better for the environment, low global warming potential. Something else that we're seeing is from a city as well as a state level, restrictions on the use of natural gas for heating. So typically it's around new construction where the city or the state will ban new construction using natural gas hookups. So meaning that the homes or the buildings will have to be completely heated and cooled using only electricity, right? So that's driving again away from burning fossil fuels, and then obviously we're looking to have renewable energy used to power a lot of those new systems. So those are kind of the requirements that now we have to deal with and have to implement. But then on the positive side, if we talk specifically here in the U.S., we have the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA, which is giving incentives to support the increased CapEx requirements on getting this equipment into place. So, on the one hand, we're mandating the changes, but the government understands, especially as we're, just beginning the upward shift in the curve here, that we're going to need some help to make sure, whether it's the homeowners or whether it's, commercial building property owners, that they're able to implement these new technologies. And so there's funding set aside in the IRA to do that.
All right. Vic or Jenna, anything on the policies you want to comment on?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can add what Vic was sharing, because I think overall the US has, has a net zero emission target to achieve by 2050. So, and there's a lot of regulatory and I would say legislative support that needs to come to support that initiative. And one of them, which Vic mentioned about the Inflation Reduction Act, there's more than around $400 billion that is being pumped to ensure that we have the technologies and solutions to support that transition. But there's another one which we all know is a bipartisan infrastructure bill that is going to, I would say, invest around $1 trillion over the next 10 years in, I would say, securing the American energy supply chains, in generating, I would say, clean energy jobs, reducing the waste. So there's a lot of investments, I would say the administration is, committing as part of the, the long-term goal achievement, which now in 2021, the current administration has signed as part of the Paris Agreement. But there are also, I would say, some states like New York, California, Colorado, they are also have much more ambitious targets. And I think this is also helping the rest of the country to also support and commit to these ambitions. One of the specific laws that I will highlight, and I think which Vic was a little bit alluding to, is Local Law 97. I think this is primarily coming from New York State, which for any new, buildings with more than 25,000 square footage will have to, a steep reduction in the greenhouse gases and the net zero. So I think there's a lot of regulatory and legislative and capital commitment that is coming as part of the, the regulatory environment. And I believe this will all help us to drive down the energy.
All right. Anything you want to add, Jenna?
We both covered many different aspects. The few things I would add is that it's, we always think about these levers that you need, because we do need the policy, but also other incentives to help move these projects forward, especially when they are early on, to just drive down that cost. And local government is really important in helping to move that forward. And just thinking about some of our local examples, the city of Pittsburgh has a near zero energy ready goal for the buildings in Pittsburgh. We also have a great municipality, Forest Hills, that's right outside of the city, that built a net zero energy municipal building and has a net zero energy goal for their whole municipality. So sometimes, it's important for us to think about the government on many different levels, state obviously important and federal. And the two big bills you both mentioned, which I heard a government official say Bill and IRA, which just is easier than repeating it, every time. But Bill and IRA, the one thing we talk to a lot of our community and stakeholders about is that we hear all the time unprecedented amount of money coming forward to actually address our buildings and our built environment to make it healthy and efficient and near zero. So that is very exciting to know that the investment is also coming.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you all.